Good morning everybody. Weekend again. Time for another walk. It's 6:15 in the morning. It's a little bit fresh out at the moment, but I'm sure it's going to warm up. The weatherman promised us a bit of warmer weather today, so we'll see. But I'm down at Irthlingborough Bridge at the moment, and I'm about to walk into Stanwick Lakes, which is over here. And from there I'm going to walk right up towards Ringstead, up to Ringstead Lakes. Have a wander around there and a bit of an explore as you do, and then I'm going to make my way to Little Addington, and then from Little Addington cut down through the fields towards the river, and then get back onto the river and follow the Nen way back again, back to where my car's parked. So let's get the bag on the back. Right, let's lock the car. Keys somewhere safe. Let's make a move. Yeah, so this is the access to Rushden Lakes from, sorry, not Rushden Lakes, Stanwick Lakes from the bridge at Irthlingborough. And it's a beautiful morning today. It's very cold at the moment, but I am told that it's going to be quite a warm day today. Look at that sun shining through there. That's beautiful. It's going to be sunny all day today. A little rabbit here, sat here just watching. Look. There he goes. There's quite a few rabbits around here. I'll find my way around this. I'm walking through that. It's quite a good path round here usually, there's just these odd little areas. The bridge over a brook just here. Bit of tidying up of trees and that around this area. There's a beautiful view across the lake. I can see a great crested grebe out there on the water. Oh no, it's not, sorry, it's a cormorant just taking off. Yeah, I'm just having a look in the brook. Yeah, there's a can of WD-40 on the far bank. I mean, how the blooming heck does something like that get there? Crazy. Gosh, certainly is cold this morning, but the sun's shining, birds are singing, beautiful. We get a lot of cyclists around here and walkers, so you have to keep sort of looking behind you. But very often you can hear them coming anyway. Oh, it's lovely how the sun is shining on the reeds over on the far bank. See Irthlingborough in the distance. Spikes on them. You don't want to get caught on them. That sun's shining through them trees. How gorgeous is that? Nice seat here. That's a lovely view, that is. That's beautiful. Lovely. I think that's the start of the kids' play area down there. We've got quite a lot for kids to play on around these areas. There's another bridge going over the river, I think. I'm not sure if this is the main river or whether it's a backwater, to be honest. There's quite a lot of swirling going on in the water. Got a tree down just here as well. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. This is known as the San Martin Bridge that I'm standing on here. That's a beautiful view off of the bridge. Over the other side. Just as beautiful. Just see Irthlingborough Lock in the distance. Some ducks swimming on the water and geese on the far bank. As you can see across there to the housing estate and the hospital and the Aldi store at Irthlingborough. Let's crack on with this walk then. There's a walkway here that will take you down to the lock and into Irthlingborough. So everything sort of links together. There's plenty of seats around for you just to sit and watch the nature, and they're in very strategic locations as well for getting the best view across some of the lakes. It's beautiful, especially this time of the morning. This lake has got the sun shining down on it. Beautiful looking through these reeds across the water. Yeah, so like I said, I'm going to be walking all the way through Stanwick Lakes and make my way up to Ringstead and the marina there, and then down to Little Addington, where I can get a path going back down towards the river, and then that will take me back into Irthlingborough, where I can get back to the car. I started early this morning so that I could catch this beautiful sunlight. I didn't get up early enough to catch a sunrise, but the sun is up in the sky right now and it's shining down and it's absolutely beautiful. I've seen one cyclist so far today, but I know that it'll get busy with cyclists and walkers as the morning goes on, because people use this area a lot for their exercise. I'm not quite sure what that structure is, to be honest. I'm sure it signifies something. There's walkways around this, all different walkways around these lakes, around Stanwick Lakes. I mean, I'm sure there's a map or something you can get from the visitor centre, but I think you can walk around each lake individually, or you can walk around the whole lot. There's various different walks, and it's all on a really good pathway as well. So it's not like you're having to climb and things like that. It's a nice flat surface. They've put a lot of work into it over the years. Sorry about my shadow, but I just wanted to film these beautiful silver birch trees on the edge of the lake. They're beautiful. And just see the centre over there. I know the sun's shining bright above it, but that's the visitor centre, and I believe there's a restaurant and such like in there as well. Quite a lot of activities goes on here, especially in the spring and the summer. All these old type fences and gardens that they've created. It's a young settler's garden. And you've got a muddy area in the middle. Herbs. You've got your flowers in this one in the front. And then there's a nature garden over there at the back. Beautiful. And they've planted all these trees around the edges. There's another little garden here with a couple of benches in there to sit down and just enjoy the area. And I love this fencing. And yet another garden. This is a historical garden number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. For the time and the effort that people take in doing all this sort of thing just for our enjoyment, you've got to take your hat off to them. Wow, look at this old place. You feel like you've walked back in time. A woodshed. Bit of stone walling behind it. The traditional crafts barn there as well. I'm sure they teach people how to do different trades from back in the day. You can even hire cycles from here as well, which is great. Beautiful little picnic area to the front of the centre, or to the side of the centre, should I say. And I know it's got lots of car parking here as well, so it's potentially it's a great day out, especially for kids. Oh, I think I'll take a seat. It's a nice little seat, isn't it? I don't know if I can sit down here with a backpack on. Oh, well, that's quite comfortable. My hands are cold. Yeah, there's not a cloud in the sky. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, better crack on. This is the children's play area. I know I brought Alfie down here before. They've had a great time, from sandpit areas, climbing frames, like miniature castle type things. Yeah, great time. Wish I had something like that when I was a kid. It'd be great. Blimey, we've even got a barbecue area. It's a little bit damp down here, but in the summer I bet that's absolutely beautiful. Yes, imagine coming down here with a family, barbecue, nice warm summer's evening, overlooking that lake. How beautiful will that be? There's a lot of bird life I can hear. All going about their daily duties. Another bridge coming up here. Again, I don't know if it goes over a river or whether it's a lake. It's a job to say really what some of this area is, without looking at a map, of course. But who cares, it's beautiful anyway. You can hear lots of ducks or geese in the distance. There's a couple of bird hides over here as well. This is called the Kingfisher Bridge, and the water is pushing through here quite a lot. Pushing through quite fast, and there's trees falling down in the water. There's lots of walks that you can do around here. And there's an adventure trail, an assault course, and the visitor centre, the old railway line, and then Woodford Lock is 3.5 miles away. Don't think I'll be going that far today. I think I'll turn off before I get to that, to be honest. There's a bird hide here. Oh yeah, beautiful views. Now bird life over there, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but there's so much bird life over in the distance. There's a couple of islands out here That one over the back there, I think it's called Turn Island, and there's an island over here to the right, it's called Oak Island, and there seems to be quite a few birds. I'm not sure what they are without my binoculars. Whatever though, there's lots of bird life going on here. Looks like there's another bird hide over here as well. I'm just going to go slow because I can see some birds over there in the distance. I think it's a pheasant, not 100% sure. There's some bird feeders out, so let's just be quiet for a minute. Blue tits, aren't they? And the nuts. There's a squirrel on this tree here. I think that's a pheasant on the floor now. That's a good idea, putting them bowls above the bird's nuts. I guess that's to stop the squirrels. And the pheasant who's just down there waiting for nuts to fall from the blue tits. The old squirrel here, he's trying to get the nuts from the bottom of this tube. One thing's for sure though, my hands are starting to warm up a bit now as the sun's getting a little bit of heat to it. Don't get me wrong, it's still cold. I'm still sniffing away. How beautiful is that? But no, my fingers are starting to warm up a bit now, which is a good thing because I didn't bring any gloves. This old hut here, this is an Iron Age roundhouse it's called. It's made of wattle and daub. I think it's, I don't know why it's been covered over, perhaps for the sun or something, or the protection from the winter, I don't really know. Let's take a look inside. I bet this is nice and cosy. Got the centre post in the middle. It's got an iron circular bar there, supporting or helping to support the beams. And it's got these beams coming down. Brilliant. Low bridge. Guess this is just linking these two lakes together. Clear that water is. So I'm carrying on with the walk now. I've just been stopping and looking at all these little different things at Stanwick Lakes. I don't know what it is, but I've got a feeling that there's stuff I've missed. I think it's worth, if anybody's interested in coming here, get on their website. I think there's so much more than so much more here than I've just seen walking along. It's just that my walk goes through Stanwick Lakes. It looks like there's a lot of historical stuff going on as well. So if you're into history, it's well worth going and having a look for that purpose, if not for the wildlife, which is fantastic here, incidentally. I've had quite a bit of flooding around this area. This footpath was all covered in water not so long ago. And the water was lifting up off of this lake, or rather this wetland, across into this wetland. It's still very wet, but the path is visible. The path is visible again now, and I believe that it's been closed because of the flood in this particular pathway. Right, let's crack on. At least there's some areas where dogs can be allowed off the leads. There is a wire fence there stopping dogs from interfering with the bird life. I mean, I hope you can hear what I can hear, and I can see birds through these trees. You're probably not going to see it on the camera, but the amount of bird life in one place, it's unbelievable. It's just thousands of birds, different birds. Loads of swans about as well. There's loads of them, and there's loads over in the fields over the other side as well. I bet they're eating the crops. Still got a little way to go before these waters go down a bit. Looks like we've got another bridge coming up here. I think this land to the left of me is private property. I think the land to the right is part of the nature reserve, although there's a lot of nature going on to the left as well, to be fair. Not a cloud in the sky. That sun is so bright on that water. Okay, beautiful. Let's crack on. I think this walk along here is an old railway line. It certainly feels like an old railway line. think we're coming to Ringstead Lakes Fishery. I think it's Ringstead Lakes Fishery to the left of me now. Used to go down fishing down there 2 years ago. Night fishing. Spent some nice nights down there. Sorry about the shadow. This is where Ringstead and Addington railway station stood. We just crossed the road that leads you into the complex for Ringstead Lakes. I'm just going down into a wooded area now. This looks really nice. It's all fenced off, but it's a nice little bit of woodland. We've got the marina. Quite a lot of boats in there at the moment. Quite dense woodland in there. Quite a lot of silver birch trees as well. Oh, it's such a shame that's all fenced off. I'd love to go and explore in there. Looks like we've got another bridge coming up here. So I see we've got a lake here. I think this used to be, I think that used to be a trout fishery, and now it's a carp lake. I think, which means that the road goes along here. I think we've got the river coming along here. Yeah, so there's a lot of boats about. And I can see somebody fishing to the right of me. How great would it be to live out there like that? Beautiful. How peaceful. An old bridge just coming up here. I think it's still a road above it. I don't think it's a disused bridge. I can hear cars. How that ivy is growing off the side of it and hanging down. Amazing structure though. Funny feeling that I need to climb up the side here to get up onto the road. That's going to be interesting. Oh. a bit steep. It's not too bad though. Oh. So this is the road that takes us to Little Addington, I believe. Morning. That's where we've just walked from. Got a little bit of road working now. I've just got to keep in because cars do come quite fast along here sometimes. Top of this hill, there's some beautiful views overlooking Ringstead lakes. They're just starting to come in view now. Definitely a beautiful area. How beautiful is that, this countryside? Got a kite there flying in front of us. Somebody down there fishing. And somehow I've got to make my way down across this field. I think there's a gate. I think there's a gate that goes through up here. And a pathway that goes down it. Now, I'm not sure if it's private or not, but I need to get on it so I can get back down onto the Nen Way. So the sun's starting to warm up now. It's only it's not even 8:30 in the morning. The sky is beautiful today. Absolutely beautiful. So I think I've got to get over here and just walk straight down. It's all locked off, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right, I'm in the field now. Let's make our way down towards the river. Definitely some beautiful views of the lake and the surrounding villages and countryside. I think we've got Great Addington over there, then Little Addington, and then Irthlingborough in the far distance. Right, we're at the bottom now. We're on the edge of the lake. That looks a bit flooded towards the edges as well. It's a bit foggy along this little bit, but we're on the Nen Way now. We'll go over this little bridge. It says Nen Way that way, but that looks all flooded. Not sure where that's going to take me, to be honest. But, well, we've got to go and find out, haven't we? Yeah, so the Nen Way actually goes diagonally across this field, but it's a bit flooded, so I'm just sort of going around the edge of it, hoping that that's taking me in the right direction. We'll soon find out. I've just been talking to a lady because I weren't sure weren't sure exactly where I needed to be in this field, and she said I'm better off turning back this way because she took her dogs for a walk the day before yesterday on the route I was taking, and she said the water came over the top of her wellies, so hence I'm turning back. But even this is looking a bit damp and underfoot. I'm back on the pathway now. That's it. I'm going to need to go back over that little bridge. I'm back over the little bridge. And I'll follow this path round here. Well, got a bit of a puddle going on there. I think I need to take a bit of a detour. I'm just going to try and stick quite close to the edge. Maybe I'll be alright there. It's quite deep. It'd have probably gone over my boots, so just as well I didn't walk through it. The water is running through here pretty fast. It'd be cool riding through that on the kayak. Wouldn't get under this bridge would be that kayak. Not home to the end. You'd almost have to lay down. But I mean, this bridge is just good though. Hey ho. Well, looks like I've got to go through. Good job I trust these boots. But anyway, they're giving them a clean. That's the important thing. Right, now then, where are we? Now to another lock. Go and have a look at that. Yeah, so this lock is known as the Upper Ringstead lock. Beautiful stretch of river just here. Looks like we've got a floating island here. Wonder how far down the river that's come. can see how much the water's raised though, because this platform would normally be quite above the water, I would have thought, because that's a fishing platform. Right now, or rather roadway. I'm not really sure if this is an end way or not, but one way or another it's by the side of the river, and that's what I wanted to walk. Quite a lot of cars down here, and then you got some of the old carp anglers out here on these lakes. I guess this is all part of Ringstead Lakes complex, I guess. I need to find somewhere to stop and make a coffee. I'm about ready for one now. I'm just coming into Little Addington now. The grass has all been cut by the side of the bank to make it nice and easy for the boats when they're mooring. Just divert a little bit from the side of the river, because there's some of these little dikes that are laying down the side, which means I've got to go through this nice little boggy bit again. Lovely. Let's get through that. I guess I've got to try and cross it somehow. I've got to jump this. Oh God, I've got to jump it. Have I really got to jump it? Oh my God. Wide. I'm over. So I was a little bit worried because I've got a backpack on my back, plus I'm holding a camera, but we made it. The edge of a field now, but I do want to divert to the left if I can to get back down adjacent to the river, which I'm sure I'm going to be able to do before too long. Quite a few geese here as well. Trees coming up now. It's a job to know exactly where I am on the river, to be honest. I know I'm past Little Addington, so I must be heading towards Irthlingborough by now. Can't be far away. Looking for a landmark. I guess somebody's had a little fire pit there at some point in time. Luckily I haven't got to cross that. Luckily I turned right just here. That was a good diversion. Back there, the Stanwick Lakes where we walked at the beginning of our journey. I feel like I'm walking away from the river at the moment. I could be wrong. There is a bridge up ahead. Back to the edge of the river. Yeah, Stanwick Lakes over the back there. Those posts that you can see on the far bank are the mooring points. I canoed up here last year and those posts were about 3 foot above the water level, so it just gives you an idea of how in flood these rivers are. I think time I made a coffee. Oh. Water, Transier. We'll boil it on the Transier today. That's it. Lines 3-in-1s again. Let's see if we can get it down on the floor. Down there in a second. Swans in the field over there, but they're enjoying the farmer's grass. Tell you what, I needed that coffee. So that's Stanwick Lakes over the other side of the river. Well, that was a welcome cup of coffee. I suppose I better get back on with the walk now. So let's crack on. Bit of woodland over here to the right. I don't know what that's like. Let's get through this. Blimey, where is the river disappeared to? Look at that. Where is the riverbank? Blimey. Building and that's part of the frontier camp now. I guess it wasn't originally that, but it looks like it's been used for it. Oh dear. Uh-oh. I got past that by hanging onto that fence and just crawling along almost. I think we might be approaching Irthlingborough Lock now. I've got a feeling that's not too far away. Blimey. Over on the far bank there, that's the mooring points. They completely disappeared. So this is Irthlingborough Lock. I just love the fact that the grass is all nice and flat to the edges of it. So proud that we look after our locks in this country. Important part of the waterway. We're going to pull away from the river a little bit now. Yeah, so this is just a track that runs along the side of the river. It takes us down to the old Irthlingborough Diamonds, or Rosedale Diamonds. Originally Irthlingborough Diamonds, of course. Pulled the canoe on wheels along here a couple of times so that I can put the canoe in the river at the lock there. Just coming to the end of this walkway now. All the walls here, I don't know what they're made of, but it's all reinforced with something. That must be holding up quite a weight, I should think. Once upon a time, this that I'm walking on was a pathway around Ringstead and Diamonds. It was a well-maintained pathway. It was a fantastic building, but it wasn't to be. It had a short future, and this is the end result. Steps going into the stadium. Look at them. Believe it or not, that used to be a football pitch. And this was the car park. This was once the car park for Ringstead and Diamonds Football Club. I don't know if anybody's planning to do anything with this one day, but certainly been left for rack and ruin, hasn't it? It's rubbish. Yeah, I suppose if you let somewhere go to ruin, you're going to attract all this. A lot of this is people have just dumped it instead of going to the tip. See a red kite there dive down and grab something off the floor. Looks nice though. Along here. Back down at Irthlingborough Bridge now, or approaching Irthlingborough Bridge anyway. Go back to the car. We're cutting back a lot of these plants and trees along here, so we're starting to look a bit ugly. I've got to tidy up this area now that the scrap vehicles have gone. Right, they're not going to close it off because I was looking forward to parking my van over there and getting the canoe, getting onto the river from this viaduct and road towards Wellingborough and get to the viaduct at the other end. You can't really walk over this bridge without having a look over the side. Across there in the distance is where I've walked from today. Even in flood, it's such a beautiful environment. Right, back to the car now. And back to where we started from at 6:20 this morning. Right, so that's another walk done. As always, if you like what I'm doing, click the like button. If you want to subscribe, that'd be fantastic, because I'm only just starting out, and as many subscribers as possible will be fantastic. Leave a comment as well. especially if you know, you've got any information about any of the areas that I've seen today. I've had a fantastic walk. Sun's still shining. Time to go home now and have a nice cup of coffee. And just remember, if you're feeling a bit down or stress is getting to you, just go for a walk. Thanks, and I'll catch you on the next one.